Okay folks, so today I was gonna come out and harvest potatoes, but we got this unseasonably cold weather and it froze like 30 degrees Fahrenheit last night and everything is just like drooping, and I don't want to be out here in the freezing soil trying to dig potatoes. So I think what I'm gonna do today is just do some chores, like maybe clean out the refrigerators up by the house, which is where I would put the potatoes once I harvested them, get everything kind of rearranged, and get some heaters in there at night. You know, they stay above freezing, but it's the time of year where I probably should get the heaters in there in case it gets too cold for too long. Got my kale drooping over there. The carrot tops are all laid down. Leeks look like they are doing okay. Yeah, and this, look at these potato plants. But I kind of felt down in the soil here, and it's not frozen. So hopefully the potatoes are okay. Anyway, change of plans. So last night I got this one refrigerator. It's a freezer converted to a refrigerator. I got that cleaned out. But it started like freezing up on me as I was cleaning it. So I still need to clean this other refrigerator. And if I'm gonna put my potatoes in anything, it's not ideal, but I need to clean out these plastic tubs. But let me show you what I discovered this morning down by the garden. So this morning I heard a big old truck come in the driveway, and then I saw this nice big pile of soil. Eventually this area will be kind of dug out, and this whole area over here will be an expanded garden area, and there'll just be this one little pathway here to get to the composting bins. So this morning, Tyler and I came out and we looked over here at the potato patch. We dug a couple of potato plants out of here. This is the Shepody variety, got a row here. And there's about like an inch of soil that's frozen, but it looks like the potatoes were fine underneath. The weather is supposed to warm up, and so I'm kind of just giving it a little bit more time so I don't have to be out here in the cold digging potatoes up. And so I'm gonna finish cleaning that last refrigerator, get those tubs cleaned, and then maybe tomorrow I can dig potatoes. All the tubs are clean. 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 And this is the fridge that I cleaned last night, and he's got his heater in him. And this is the one I cleaned today, and he's got pig pen is heating him. Hey, so remember how I said it was supposed to warm up? Well, that was the forecast, but last night it got down to 28, and then it dropped even further down to 27 Fahrenheit. So that's really cold. It's never that cold in October. It usually just rains. And so this is pretty crazy. The biggest problem I'm having, well, not the biggest problem, is that all of my wash station stuff is outside. And so like we've drained everything so that the pipes and hoses and stuff won't freeze. So it's just a big pain in the butt to deal with this cold water outside and stuff and all that. So I think what I'm gonna do is come over here and just dig some potato plants a little bit at a time, take them into the house and wash them in the kitchen sink, I guess. I've got 2 rows harvested. I think I've got 3 more to go. 3 partial buckets of German Butterballs, 2 of French Fingerlings and Magic Mollies, 2 Shepody, and I've got 2 buckets of Shepody already up at the house. I decided just to save time to go ahead and throw these guys dirty into the refrigerator in the tubs and just figure things out later on. Yeah. Okay, so this whole video is gonna be me updating you about the weather and then complaining about the weather. So it's really weird. Last night, you know, it was like 38 degrees yesterday, and then it dropped down to like 35. And then all of a sudden, the temperature came up to like the 40s last night. I'm like, what's going on? And then this morning I woke up and it was 35. Anyway. So it's about 40 degrees right now. Well, things are a little bit more pleasant today than yesterday. Maybe just because I've got a potato program going. I started working on this opposite side here. So I'm into the Haida potatoes. And there's a lot of nice big ones in here. So that's pretty cool. Wow. I was starting to think that I'm done growing small potatoes. I don't like fishing out all these little tiny potatoes, but actually there's quite a few big ones. Oh. It's kind of hard to find out where the plants are. Look at that big guy. Some of these have, let's see if I can find, kind of this brownish color. It's hard to see, but streaked through it, which I think is kind of like rot. So it could be that I'll lose quite a few of these potatoes. And I can't tell which ones may have been kind of near the top and gotten frozen, or if they've all managed to survive this weather. Definitely some of them have, because they're pretty deep in the soil. Cool. I've just been digging in through here and finding a lot of rocks. So I've been taking the time to kind of try and get some of the rocks out of here. This is new soil, from last year, the first time I planted anything in this soil. So I didn't till it, I didn't get any rocks or sticks out of it, or anything like that. So I harvested that one row of Haida potatoes and one row of German Butterballs. So I don't know if I've got I don't know how many German Butterballs I have in the middle there. I'm happy that I started with the Haida potatoes this morning, because I got 5, partial buckets from one row. And this is what I got from one row of German Butterballs. That is sad. So for all I know, maybe that one last windrow of potatoes is the mother load of German Butterballs. But I'm kind of thinking that maybe those plants just didn't do as well. Was it because they were in the center and got shaded out by the outer couple rows of potatoes? I don't know. Anyway, it's like I'm rototilling the whole potato patch for just like a bucket or so of those German Butterballs. Anyway, I think I'm gonna call it good for today and get that last bit of potatoes tomorrow. You want another update on the weather? So yesterday I was kind of breathing easy because the night before it hadn't frozen. And so I thought, forecast is for nights above freezing. I dug, like all the soil out from the other sides of this last row of potatoes. And then it got down to like, Tyler woke up and said it was 27 degrees again last night. So it froze hard. And there's still frost everywhere. It's 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And the temperature has finally come up to 36 degrees. So I don't know. The potatoes seem to be surviving, so maybe they survived this. I'm gonna try and get this last section of potatoes. It's so crazy. Oh man. I mean, what could be worse? I suppose it could be pouring down rain and I could be trying to get the potatoes in the mud. I've been finding like a ton of earthworms all these days that I've been digging potatoes. This is pretty sad. I've got a bucket of German Butterballs and another German Butterballs, plus I was finding some Haidas pushing their way into this row here. Oof. I did get a lot of rocks and sticks and stuff out of this soil. Yeah, I don't know what is up with the German Butterballs. I mean, I know I planted them too close together, but I also planted the Haidas too close together too, I think. And they did really good. But it could be as the plants flopped over, like the ones on the edges were able to like take in more light and so grow bigger roots. I mean, that's my current theory. I don't know if it's the German Butterball variety doesn't do very good, because in the past I've done better with those potatoes. Anyway, you know what I'm tempted to do? I'm tempted to just plant some of the nice big Haida potatoes back into this plot here and cover them up with soil, because I never have time in the spring to plant potatoes and I'm always late. And that's one thing about the Haida potatoes, is they always seem to come up later than all the other potatoes. So they need more time. So if they could just kind of come up in the spring when they're supposed to, that'd be awesome. So I'm hearing that this thing of soil might be the last pile that we get for the winter. It was just so happened they had a project and they were able to dig up some dirt. So yeah, I got to think about all this. I need to come out here, grab some frozen leeks for pasta tonight. Yeah, everything's quite a bit more frozen. So the plan with these 3 beds of carrots was to maybe harvest 1 or 2 of the beds, clean them, chop them up, and freeze them, and then at least one of the beds cover in a thick mulch of seaweed so that they wouldn't freeze through the winter, so I could dig them and have fresh carrots up until spring. But I didn't expect, this freezing to happen so soon. And right now there isn't any seaweed out there on the beach. And so, yeah, I don't know quite what I'm going to do with the carrots. But I do know now that I can't really depend on October being a safe month for me to be able to get some things done with this freezing happening so early. So I got some leeks out of here, but just to Take a look at how much of this dirt is frozen. Maybe almost 2 inches or 1.5 inches. And so we'll see how these guys clean up. I also grabbed some carrots just to see how they did. Underneath this clover, maybe a little bit less frozen. Definitely at least 1 inch. So, gosh, I don't know if these guys are gonna make it. We'll see when everything thaws out. Okay, dudes, so I have 6 tubs full of potatoes up to the brim in this fridge here. And they're so heavy, I can't hardly lift them. Maybe 50 pounds each. Is that 300 pounds of potatoes? But some of these are green and some of them have holes and some of them might have gotten frozen. Guess what we've got? This is a nice little pile of leaves and some grass that just popped over here. Golly, do you think be enough to plant potatoes in? I might have enough cardboard boxes to stick the potatoes in the refrigerator, since those plastic tubs there's a lot of condensation, and the potatoes, if they sit in there long enough, kind of end up rotting a little bit. Yeah, I don't know, peeps. I'm just like, this is taking forever. With all these, little German Butterball potatoes. I guess that's it for the week, folks. I'm washing potatoes, and we'll talk more about potatoes and maybe carrots next week. See you then.